Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. I had a viewer ask a great question after I did the Harry and Meghan Destiny readings 1, 5, and 10 years. And they asked about the British monarchy. I do want to do William and Catherine in 1, 5, and 10 years. Those will be coming up. But I thought, you know what? Let's just ask about the British monarchy. I thought that was a great question. So thank you very much for that question. So, of course, I'm going to go back to my Chronicles of Destiny fortune cards. I'm going to do the exact same reading 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years for the overall of the British monarchy. And if you're smirking right now and thinking, well, of course they're going to be around. Are the pharaohs around? They were kings and queens. Look at many monarchies have fallen. The French monarchy has fallen. The German monarchy has fallen. The Greek monarchy, look at Prince Philip. He was part of a monarchy that has fallen. Now, those weren't as great as the British royal family. But I'm talking about the monarchy, the crown, the firm. We'll do William and Kate we'll get that done. I'm almost scared to do Charles and Camilla just because of their age. But let's just do the British royal family, the monarchy in 1 year, in 5 years, and in 10 years. What is the destiny? What is the destiny? What do we got here? Lady Winter and accepting the quest. Huh? They're going to fight for it. But you think like some of the great monarchies, like the Egyptians, when's the last time you heard somebody be called pharaoh? And they were one of the greatest dynasties that our history has ever known. Everything is in cycles. Everything has an end date. Everything has an end date. So let's see, the British monarchy or the crown or the firm or the palace, not the individuals, the monarchy as a entity. 1 year. What's the destiny 1 year of the monarchy as an entity? Destiny of the monarchy in 1 year. Cards are ready. Oh, interesting cut. Shooting star. Kissed. Oh, the next year they're going to be Shore of Trials. Yeah, I wonder. Heroine. Look at that. The mental that Harry got that quite a bit. Masquerade. The Baroness. Ooh. I don't think this next year is going to be that fantastic for them. Lady Spring. This is almost identical to Harry's, isn't it? Sorrow. Oh. Just want to make sure these are all in. Okay, let's get started. Well, this is going to be a year of sorrow. It looks like it starts off okay. Shooting star. Oh, and the clock agrees with me. And kissed. It's like your guiding star is getting you to your goal. People are in agreement with this kiss. And then we have the Shore of Trials. So it's like it starts off okay and everybody's loving them. And then something happens. The Shore of Trials. And look, that's definitely the UK there. I think, who's the lady in red with this sorrow here? They're going to be covering up a lot of things with this masquerade and this Baroness. They've got something that they have to deal with. And again, I want to show you, is that her giving the finger? But by spring, they're doing a lot better. They're feeling a lot lighter. I think this is going to be a very dark winter for them for some reason. And in my reading I did for William on his birthday, that there is an ending before his next birthday. I wonder if something happens this winter. Wonder if something happens this winter with this sorrow card. Like this is sorrow, 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 like crying and crying. This is Ace of Cups in reverse. With the shore of trials and masquerade. I think it's going to be a lot of mental stress. I'm almost getting this card as Megan putting pressure on them, even though it says heroine. I just get like she's putting this sword, this dagger in their heart, right? This, harlot is putting this dagger in their heart, and it's just too much for them. There is something big coming up with this shore of trials and this masquerade, and I wonder if we aren't going to see what's going on behind the scenes, how upset they are about something. Yeah, there is definitely somebody here sticking it to them. Definitely. And they somehow have to keep it covered up. But by spring, look at the difference in this card. All of a sudden, by spring, they feel lighter, it's fresher, it's newer. Yeah, I think that's what we've got here for the next year. So I think we're going to have a dark winter with the royals, especially with this sorrow card. Oh, so yeah, so this next year, it's going to be, I think it's going to be okay till about summer, and then I think once autumn hits and winter is going to be very dark. I think it's this one here is creating a lot of problems. Like I said, when Harry, it's interesting that it's almost the same as Harry, so it's almost like Harry's going to dictate their year somehow. Um, neurons here and neurons there. And they have to cover it up. And sometimes using drugs and alcohol are covering up problems too. But I don't think I asked about an entity, not a person. So I think a lot of things will be going on behind the scenes. I think Harry and his wife have a lot to do with the pressures that are on the royal family, but there's definitely some sorrow coming. And by spring, it lightens up. So, ugh. Okay. So that's 1 year. So now let's ask 5 years. So what's the destiny for the monarchy, for the British monarchy? What's the destiny for the British monarchy for the next 5 years? What's the destiny for the British monarchy for the next 5 years? What's the destiny for the British monarchy for the next 5 years? The crown, the palace, the entity, not the people, the crown, the palace, the entity. What's the destiny in the next 5 years for the British monarchy? What are we going to see? Cards are ready. The fellowship. Oh, they're in agreement with other monarchies. Pegasus, a renewal. A treasure. They're fine with money. Oh, shore of trials again. Whew. Dreams. Hero and bliss. And underlying downfall. Downfall under the shore of trials here. Okay. I think within the next 5 years, we're definitely with this Pegasus here. We're going to see William take over this fellowship. I don't feel like they have any enemies. Let's put it that way in the next 5 years. Treasure, they're doing fine with money, and why wouldn't they? But we'll definitely see some sort of renewal here. And I think that's when William takes over. And especially here with this hero and bliss, I'm almost getting this is William and Catherine. Catherine as the queen, elevated. And it's almost like it's more Catherine and her dream. The trials, though, and the downfall. I wonder if at the end of 5 years something really happens. Like I'm almost getting with this Pegasus and Hero, almost the higher you fly, the harder they fall. Especially with the dreams here. These two cards aren't looking at each other. This treasure card's looking this way and the dream card is looking that way. I wonder if there's some kind of loss of money with this downfall. I almost could see diamonds coming. Road to nowhere. And the barrenness. Oh, God, that barrenness keeps showing up. I wonder if they're going to be kind of stagnant, right? Because we look and see what's happening. I mean, you look at the balcony and it's just shrinking. And I wonder if they try to renew it, but there just isn't enough people. So they're starting to dwindle down, right? That's what I'm getting here. They're dwindling down because you think about it, who's going to be left in 5 years? You know, even like some of the Queen's cousins that are working royals, well, they're almost 90. You know, you even look at Anne is going to be in 5 years. She's almost going to be 80. So like, are they going to bring in Zara and her husband, Mike? Is Beatrice? I've read about that Beatrice actually wants to be a working royal again. Her and her husband would be fabulous at it, and everything that they do seems to be leaning that way. They act very royal, right? But if Harry's not in the picture, he's not a working royal. Andrew's not in the picture. We'll have Edward and Sophie, and they're two. Well, we don't know if they're going to become working royals. So I'm wondering in 5 years, I mean, how long do we have to wait for William's children? I mean, right? I mean, even when they turn 18 and then plus they go to school for 4 or 5 years, do some military work. I mean, we're 15 years away from George even being 25. Like, think about that. Think about that. Like how I think Charles is doing something. I think by dwindling the royal family, I think it'll eventually be their downfall. There just won't be that many of them, no matter how hard Catherine and William try to be the hero and the queen. And if there's not enough people to be working royals, like there is some kind of collapse at some point. There is some kind of collapse, and I think they're going to have to round up William's generation, maybe even ask Eugenie if she wants to be a working royal, like just to get bodies, get bums in seats, we call it, just to get bodies. And you can always quit after a while, if it's like, yeah, this isn't for me, but I think they've got to do something. There's going to be some kind of renaissance here though with the fellowship, Pegasus, and treasure. People are going to treasure the British monarchy, and I think that's when William and Catherine take over. People are gonna really, there's going to be some kind of renaissance here, I think, once William and Catherine are king and queen. But it's won't last long, and I think that's why. I think there's so few working members, and like I say, those cousins, how long are they going to last? Will they be around in 5 years? I don't know. So let's ask now. The British monarchy, the entity, the British monarchy, the crown, what's its destiny in 10 years? What is the destiny of the British royal monarchy, not family, in 10 years as the entity of the British royal family, as the entity, not the individuals? The crown, the palace, Buckingham Palace, all the media. Buckingham Palace has stated. So the crown, Buckingham Palace, the monarchy, the British monarchy, where will they be in 10 years? Where will they be in 10 years? Cards are ready. Ooh, time flies. It won't feel like 10 years. Oh, road to nowhere. Ooh. Polaris. Might be a vote. The Baroness. Guardian of the books, victory, and the light bearer. The enchanted emporium are merging. Okay. I'm wondering if there'll be a vote to keep the British royal family here, because with the road to nowhere and Polaris is poles apart, right? Hot, cold, light, dark. And so to me, sometimes that can be a vote, especially with the road to nowhere. It's going to be, with this time flies. I think before we know it, maybe be closer to the 5-year mark versus the 10-year mark with this time flies here. I think, especially we had the shores of trials and the downfall. I think closer to the 5-year, just after the 5-year mark, we're going to see people questioning the monarchy, and there might even be a vote about it. With this bareness and enchanted emporium, I'm getting like propaganda being sold to you about the British royal family. This even could be the media. Guardian of the books, victory, and light bearer. So I think there's going to be some kind of propaganda or what are the words I'm trying to get here? You're being sold a lot of lies here with the bareness. Interesting. This is the finger to the Brits, the double finger like that, and secrets and lies, and then we have the enchanted emporium. What are they trying to sell you? And I'm especially going to say, what are they trying to sell you about the upcoming generation? This is a child, so I wonder, like in 5-10 years, George is still going to be just in 5 years, only be 15 to 10 is 8 to 18, 19, 20. He's still going to be a teenager. I wonder if there's going to be some stuff that comes out about George that they're selling you, that, is this going to be your next king or whatever? And I'm getting a huge Charlotte vibe here. Huge Charlotte vibe with this enchanted emporium and this guardian of the books. I get from Charlotte, she's extremely intelligent. I have no way of knowing that personally. I just vibes I get from people, from what I see from her. She's extremely intelligent, and the guardian of the books here shows me she's very smart, and this is almost a Charlotte as well. And with the victory card here and the light bearer, I'm getting more. It's interesting. We have king, 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 and I'm getting that it's actually going to be, I think we're going to get a queen in 10 years. I think we're going to see Charlotte have victory. Charlotte have victory, and bring light back to the royal family. Yeah, I did a reading that something happens to William, and and Kate escapes with the children, and George comes back to fight for his rightful seat. A really, really dark reading I did on that. I'm wondering if Charlotte ends up on the throne. I've always got those kind of vibes from her. I can't wait till she's older so I can read her energy. I don't like reading on children's energies per se. I'll read around the adults, around the children, but until they're 18 or young adults, I don't like reading children's energy. I think, though, we're going to see Charlotte or a queen. I mean, that could be the only queen that would be next on the crown. And wouldn't it be like regent or something like that? I think that happened to Queen Victoria, that whoever was on I think it was her uncle that was the king, and they weren't sure that he was going to make it until she turned 18. And so she would have been named regent or co-regent or queen regent or something like that. I honestly think we're going to see Charlotte get victory here and change a few things. The light bearer, I think the royal family the crown, the monarchy will be a lot lighter, not necessarily in any kind of color or anything. I think it'll be like Charlotte and maybe Louis, and right, and that's what I mean by lighter. It's gonna be much smaller. Maybe we'll see something more like what um, Holland has or Denmark has. Just a smaller royal family footprint. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I see in 10 years we're going to see. I think we're going to see Charlotte, because how old would she be? Yeah, she might be 18 in 10 years. Is she 8, 7, 8? And it'll be much smaller, a smaller footprint royal family. But there's going to be some kind of a serious propaganda, media push to push this vote about the royal family. They will be victorious. They will say, yes, we want a royal family, but we want it much smaller, maybe, perhaps. Interesting. This does echo another reading I did over a year ago. So this will be so interesting to see if this plays out this way. I'm just trying to look and see what else I see. Yeah, I think actually, I don't know why George comes in to save the day, but Charlotte, maybe he abdicates or something, but Charlotte is going to ascend to the throne. Yeah, I'm calling it. That's what's going to happen. But you watch, there's going to start to be real strong propaganda being sold, a basket of bad goods about George here by the time we get there. That they don't want him as king, and they might even be pushing to get Charlotte. I don't know. Something happens though. Charlotte ascends. I'm calling it. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your likes, your comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. It all means everything. Thanks for watching. Take good care. Bye for now.